this drop came in, I was on 100 supply, he was on like 80, so after this drop happens, I want you to look at the supply just to note how effective this drop is. I mean, this doesn't take a lot of effort. Anybody can drop one drop shit with 4 Marauders in and do this, so, you know, but all he had to do was have some Stalkers ready, or, you know, use an Observer, buy 1 or 2 more Observers and just have them, like, at the top around his base. I mean, he's got 3 pylons guarding one side, but I can just sneak around the side, just have an Observer there ready, it's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's good positioning on his pylons at this side of the base, but he should have had that all around, and it looks like you're doing the drop yet again. And you finally lose 1 Marauder, but you're probably just going to pick the rest of these 3 up and get out of there safely. So
wow, you got slightly ahead again.
Oh, I'm at 14-11 or 14-13 now. What are you at?
Yeah. Oh, I skipped ahead a little. I'm at like 14-20 now.
Oh, okay.
I'll pause slightly. Okay, now I'm 14-23.
Okay. Go ahead and start now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not too sure what's going wrong. But, anyways. So, yeah, you actually got 2 of the Marauders out safely. So you lost, what, 150 minerals and 50 gas, or sorry, 250 minerals and 50 gas, and he lost a ton of probes and production time. Like, that's just good harassment.
They're actually only 100 minerals each, but as I said, like, before that drop happened, he was on 80 supply, I was on 100. Now, I was on 130 supply, he was on 90. So, I mean, I gained 30 supply, he gained 10 from doing that, and we were both on equal base, so, you know, that was a damn good harass, if I don't say so myself. Yeah, and I'm getting a 3rd base up. And here comes the fight.
He just doesn't have enough Stalkers to push back your Vikings and the Marines and Marauders. So you're right. You're just going to walk all over this force. He's trying to micro his Colossus back, but your Vikings just have too far of a range. And you had, I mean, just a massive army compared to what he had, and yeah, there was really no way he was going to win that battle, even bringing all his probes off the line. So.
Right, and I just want to say, like, the fact that I knew that he was doing, and also I dropped on his main base with a dropship while that fight was going on, so he had no chance at all. Like, even if I lost that fight, he'd have lost all his probes because he didn't realize that that was happening. But the fact that I knew he wasn't going to make High Templars, I just went for this very Marauder Marine heavy army, and there was nothing that he was going to do about that anytime soon. And yeah, if I see that a lot of the top Protosses on Asia, such as I watched Ace's games and somebody else, and none of them were even thinking about making a Templar archive. So yeah, you can pretty much abuse that and little facts like that to your advantage hugely.
Right. And yeah, I mean, like, High Templar, just Storm just demolishes Marine Marauder. I don't know why you would not use that. It just seems silly.
Right, exactly.
Well, I guess the last question I have for you is, do you think you'll stick with Terran, or will you play Protoss a little bit more when the game is released?
I don't enjoy playing Protoss at all. I think the race itself, it's very... You basically have to follow a road, like a path, and if you stray from this path even slightly, you're doing it wrong. Whereas with Terran, especially Terran, not so much Zerg, you can kind of skew a little from the road and do something fancy, and it might be good. It might be good in that situation. Whereas with Protoss, you know, there's one strict way to play, and if you don't do that, then you're doing it wrong, as I said earlier. But yeah, I like that with Terran, that you're not you don't have to be as strict with what timing or what army you had at a certain point in the game. You know, you can be a bit loose, a bit of a wild cannon. And I mean, if you watched Luciferon early beta, he pretty much showed a lot of Terrans that, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to do it better than everybody else because I can, but I'm going to get away with it too.
Do you think there's a certain race that's easier to learn?
Ooh, I'd like to say Protoss and Zerg. Zerg, it feels like you're doing a lot. Like, you know, you press hatchery and then you press S, then you've got like 6 larvae there and you press D, 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 D. You know, it feels like you're doing a lot. But it's pretty easy to get a grasp of. I mean, you get your economy running, then you make Roach Hydra, and that's a pretty standard army. But I'd like to say Protoss is pretty easy to learn. you're not going to get punished as a Protoss as much as you're going to get punished as a Terran or a Zerg if you don't know what you're doing. As in, if you're a Protoss and you just say, I'm going to make 3 gates and a robotics bay, you're pretty safe. There's a few builds that will shock you and beat you, but you should be able to learn from that, such as, I don't know, a Marauder rush. Like, they don't really happen that often nowadays, but earlier people were suffering from that, but yeah, I think you should be able to learn Protoss easier than Terran or Zerg, purely because you're less susceptible to early rushes.
Right. Now, do you think the campaign is going to play a large factor into the way people learn Terran and what people learn from Terran?
No.
No?
I haven't actually heard anything about the campaign, but most of the players that I talked to who played Warcraft 3, like to a top level, none of them played the campaign, and myself included. I wasn't interested. Like, if I wanted to play single player or something, I'd go play Final Fantasy. Like, I like StarCraft. I like StarCraft 2 a lot, but you know, I've got better things to do. I've got to practice and stuff. You know.
No, for sure. Yeah, I understand. I mean, for me as a casual player, I think I haven't learned Terran a lot yet. But I think playing the campaign for fun, I think I'll learn a lot more about the Terran than I would just by trying to pick up a race that I don't know and playing games and just getting trashed by players of my skill level.
Yeah, probably. But then I think replays are better than any campaign will be.
That's a good insight, actually. I have to agree with that. I learn a lot from replays, and I learn a lot from other casters, especially Day 9, and I want to go ahead and talk about the Day 9 party coming up real quick. Do you have any involvement in that at all?
Yes, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what exactly.
I was not going to ask you what, because I don't want to ruin any surprise, but I look forward to seeing you in that.
I love Day 9. He's a nice guy.
Yes, Day 9 is very insightful, and I can't wait for that party, so make sure you guys check that out. If you haven't read about it, I'd be surprised that you're watching my games, because if you haven't heard of Day 9, I'd be really surprised you've heard about me. Anyways, check that out. It's on Team Liquid's forums. You will see Demuslim there. I don't know if you'll see anything from me. You may, but we'll have to wait and see. But go ahead and check that out. And I guess, do you have anything else to add before we end this off?
Well, I'd like to thank MTW for recruiting me, and I'd like to thank MTW's sponsors. I'd like to say a big hi to everybody that knows me, and I don't know. It's pretty. I've never felt this on the spot before. But yeah, watch every tournament that's coming up. I'm probably going to be involved in a couple of them, so if you can, it would be nice if you supported me and supported the tournament itself. I mean, the more backing that we get behind this community, it's going to be the better, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I am all about supporting this community. So thanks for tuning in to this 3-set series here with Demuslim, and hope to see you around for the next co-procast that I do. So yeah, this is Shicky and Demuslim signing out, guys. See you later.